of the My Two Tips podcast. My name is Elise. I am the host of this thing, and thank you for joining me today. So I figured I would upload another video filmed on the same day. It is October 13th, and I wanted to show you what I've been working on lately. So last time I actually podcasted, I think I was still working on my Stasis pullover. It is now done. I have worn it, finished it, blocked it, wore it to Knit City. It is amazing. I will definitely knit another colorwork yoke bottom up circular pattern again, I believe. And I am probably going to knit with the Harrisville Designs again as well. It is really softening up really nicely. I really like it. So this is the sweater. I am so happy to have it off the needles. Most of the puckering did block out around the yoke. I think it looks quite fine when I wear it, but this is a yoke where there's only 3 decrease rows in it, I believe. I also followed Ella Gordon, who, oh my god, amazing. You should all follow her. She works for Jaden, is a pattern designer. She is the one who has designed for Shetland Wool Week the Croft Hoose hat and mitts. And she has a really lovely Ola yoke pattern that I'm really interested in knitting. But a lot of people on Ravelry have her kind of in their notes on their project page for making the yoke a little bit shorter. And she just did some short rows. She explains them. So I followed that and it worked really well. If I had continued with the pattern, it would have been a very high neck, which I don't like. I can get by with a crew neck, but it can't be super high. I hate that kind of tight, choky feeling on my throat. So, oh my god, it's done and lovely. I love it. And then that takes me to my flyaway twist, which has a little bit of a sorry kind of sad. So it is now practically finished, which you can't really see very well because it's all scrunched up on the needles, but the brioche is done. Not blocked, obviously, but it's done. Super squishy, really lovely. I'll show you the other side as well. Really like it. And for crying out loud, I ran out of yarn doing the border. So I have, oh goodness, let's see. So I'm doing short rows as the pattern states, and I have done, my last short row is here. I have this much more to do. I think there's 8 short rows left to do and then the bind off. So 16 rows of knitting and this thing will be done. I think what might have happened is I sized up for my garter beginning. I sized up to a size 7, which is what, a 4.5 needle, I believe. Totally fine. However, I also maintained that size for my brioche, which I think I could have sized down for. Not that I don't like the way it looks, but I think if I had sized down, it would have saved some of my contrast color, the Grim, the black Woolen Vine colorway, and then I probably could have finished. So I'm a little unsure if I want to take this project with me, because there's really not that much left to do on it. But I am hoping that when I'm at the Indie Untangled show on the Friday night, I can pick up another skein of the black so that I can finish it. Obviously have quite a bit left over, but that's okay. It's black. You can use it in tons of things. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to come with me or not. I feel like it should, because then I'll at least have something else to work on, but for right now it's kind of undecided, partially also because of space. I'm trying to pack light. I don't really want to have to pay for luggage. So we'll see what happens in that department. But it still fits really well. I mean, it's squished in there, obviously, but it fits really well in this sock size bag from Birch Grove by Christina, and I love it. So adorable. I guess I have another finished object, actually. So this is the shawl I cast on Monday, because I wanted to have a skein of Maria's yarn from Tuscan Knits knit up for the Indie Untangled show so that I could wear it at the booth when I am helping her sell her yarn on the Friday evening at the Indie Untangled booth. So this is a skein minus this little nugget, which is super adorable. This is a skein of the Wee Nook base, which is 100% merino. I believe it's merino. I should probably know that, but I don't know where the label went. So anyway, it is a non-superwash base, and it is gorgeous. I cannot get enough of this colorway. It is the Love Letter colorway, and there is no crazy pooling. The color dispersion, not a word, is just gorgeous. I finished it last night and blocked it overnight, and it's wonderful. I have added beads to the end, and I blocked out quite a few of the picots. I think it looks really lovely. I'm not a huge fan of one skein shawls, but this is enough. This has enough fabric there for me. Like if you're wearing like a nice little jacket or a dress, I think it'll work really nice. So I'll have this at the booth to wear, which I'm super excited. I chronologically wrote my notes on my project page. I knit this in 4 days. I was trying to get it done quick, but once you know the pattern, I believe the first, let's say 69% of the pattern, 70% of the pattern is just stockinette, the body. You just power through it. When I beaded the rows, they took forever. Oh my god, I forgot that beading can really slow you down. But I think it was worth it in the end. I'm going to play with these little picots a little bit and hopefully get the beads to lie a little bit more the way I want them to, because right now they're just all kind of like straight and weird. But I kind of, at the end of the picots, I put on 3 beads onto 1 stitch. So I'm hoping they'll kind of curve a little bit more, which I think will look kind of nice. Essentially, it doesn't really matter. They're on there. They're going to do what they want. But I really enjoyed knitting this. It's very similar to the Pebble Beach shawl in a way. Very similar construction. There's less eyelets in it, obviously. The eyelets on this one are all at the end. But I kind of think I want to knit another one. Potentially a Pebble Beach, actually, because that one has more sizes available. But look at how gorgeous it is. And look at that drape. Gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. I really, really am happy that I chose to do this project. And thank you everybody for weighing in on Instagram that the pink beads were the way to go. I think you're very right. So I cast on another project over Thanksgiving weekend as well. And this is the Campside Cardigan. So this is what I was planning on essentially being my travel knitting. But I don't know how much more of this I'm really going to have for my whole trip. So I don't know. This is the Boots or Hearts colorway that I bought from Allison Barnes Yarns. And guys, I have like a good chunk done already. This is crazy. So this is the Campside Cardi pattern. I already have the sleeves bound off. They're just really tight right now because I like to keep them a little bit tighter as I'm knitting the body. And I have the first chart done, but here, okay, so from here up to my little pinecone stitch marker is chart 1. I did an extra inch of this chart because I don't think I'm going to do the final chart. I don't like the very, very close eyelets. Just personal preference. And then I've done 3 repeats. Yeah, 3 repeats of the second chart, and I think this is now where I'm going to increase my needle size, continue with the second chart 2 more times, so I will get to maybe 12 inches and then do the final chart for about 4. That's my plan on the bigger needles. And I'll be at the ribbing not that far from now. So I'm so excited. I think it's knitting up absolutely wonderfully. I'm alternating rows. So because it's knit flat, that means 2 rows in one skein, 2 rows in another. And I think it's just blending really, really wonderfully. And I can't wait to have this thing. I have packed up the other needles that I need. I'm so excited. I'm a little worried about knitting this on the plane just because it's going to get a little bit bigger, but not too bad. And that's kind of it. As far as trip knitting, I'm gone for 2 weeks. I feel like I need to bring more. I have no idea what else to bring. I think I'll bring my Tale as Old as Time cowl because it's still not done and I can easily knit at that on the plane. I'm just gonna kind of have to see if I skein up a fun skein of yarn. Like, I don't know. I kind of want to cast on a pair of socks just because I could easily, but at the same time, do I really want to? I'm not feeling socks, you guys. I'm really not feeling the whole sock mojo. Sweaters are my jam right now. I guess if I wanted, I could probably skein up some yarn for another Mount Pleasant tee. Ooh, that's an idea. I'll do that. I don't know. Because the thing is, I have to still actually put all of my stuff in my suitcase. But it should be fine. It should be more than fine. I have plans in Rhinebeck to find a sweater's quantity of breed-specific yarn. I don't know what yarn that will be. I don't know what sheep that will be. But I'm really excited to touch and feel and see the different fibers, see the different yarns that these different sheep fibers create. I think Rhinebeck is going to be the perfect place to find something very unique and special. And since I'm on such a sweater kick, to have a sweater in my wardrobe to encompass the trip of Rhinebeck, I think is going to be very, very special. I don't plan on having as big of a haul from Rhinebeck just because that good old American dollar and our Canadian dollar aren't so much on the same pace that I just need to be cautious of expenditure. But it should be fine. I'm really excited to see everything. I'm excited to see a few of my Canadian knitting friends at Rhinebeck because it's only been 2 weeks and I miss you so much already. I am so excited to meet so many more of my knitting friends who I've chatted with and had good, good friendships built just through our online communities. I get to see these people in person. If you are at Rhinebeck and if you are a fan of my podcast, if we have chatted and you are planning on coming up to say hello, please, please, please do if you see me. I am so looking forward to hanging out and making more of these intrapersonal connections, I guess. I cannot wait. I am so excited. I head home tomorrow evening and it's going to be fabulous. I plan on getting lots of knitting done. We'll see what the heck happens. Chances are it will. I'm planning on seeing a few yarn stores when I'm home as well because my knitting bug really hit me when I moved out to BC, and I feel like there's a lot to see in Ontario, so I'm excited to do some of that. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. There's just good stuff happening, and I am so excited, and I'm looking forward to it, and I will see you Rhinebeck time, flip side, at some point. Have a great day, weekend, week, whatever you are doing. I hope your knitting is keeping you happy, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.